Yes, hello? Yes, hi. This is CNN? CNN, MSNBC? CNN, MSNBC, ABC News? This is CNN, ABC, and MSNBC, and CNN, and ESPN, and Quinnipiac? Yes. Hi. 45 minutes to an hour and a half? Yes. I have 45 minutes to an hour and a half. It's 2 in the afternoon. Of course I do. Yes. You called me last in 2016. I was a Republican then. I'm still a Republican, yes. Okay. 130 questions? Okay, go ahead. No, I don't like his personality. No, I can't stand it. Oh, I like his personality better. No, I don't like mean people. Yeah, put 10 doesn't like mean people. Okay. Yes. Well, I live in California, but I have a summer home in New York. Okay. Yeah. I think that his rhetoric is horrendous, yes. I've been a conservative all my life. Of course. Can you repeat the question again? If the election were held today and Trump continues his horrendous behavior? No, I'm going to vote for Biden. Yes. And I'm also, actually, to tell you the truth, I'm leaning towards becoming an independent. Okay. Fantastic. Yes, you called me in 2016. All right. Okay, fantastic. Call me again. Call me later, actually. Call me for the... Can I sign up for the next poll? Can I sign up for your next poll? Hello? Hello? No, don't hang up. By the way, enough about me. How are you? No, I want to sign up for the next poll. Yeah, you can call me again. Okay. No, I'm not going to vote for Trump. Yes, I'm a Republican, and I might be actually an independent. Yes, you called me in 2016. I live in California, and I vacation in New York. Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much for tuning in. That is probably more accurate than you would think. Eric, H526, Luke St. Martin, thank you so very much for being the best moderators in all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. All I have is this awesome Ushanka with these Oni mask, with these Oni Hanya mask Onis. And so your support via Super Chat is greatly, greatly appreciated. Trafalgar is going to be amazing. They're going to be rock stars. Absolute rock stars. And the Trafalgar Group has a chief pollster named Robert C. Cahaley. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. He's awesome. And Trafalgar is awesome. And you know how Rasmussen in 2016 was the only accurate poll? I think maybe IBD was accurate as well. I want to read you this from Trafalgar. 2020. Okay, so check it out. Eli Issa. Awesome start, H.A. Dying laughing. Thank you so much, Eli. Thank you so much. I could basically go forever. Yeah, enough about me. How are you? Good. How do you have any kids? How are they? Are you in a relationship? Let me talk to you. Cuz that's what the type of people, Eli Issa, the type of people that are going to speak to a pollster for an hour and a half and answer 120 questions are not Trump supporters, are not people voting for President Trump. They're not people who watch MSNBC or CNN. They're not people who read the New York Times or the Washington Post. And they're not people who just have nothing to do at 2 in the afternoon. It doesn't matter if you're retired. Missy, hello. Eli Issa, thank you so very much for your generosity. And thank you, Eli. Thank you so very, very much. Trafalgar, I should have put Wisconsin. Wisconsin, he's within a striking distance. But here, let's just look at this poll. Michigan, 46.7 points, 46 points Biden, Trump 46.7 points. Now, can somebody please explain to me why is the... I'm not even going to be like the Democratic Party and say if you vote Libertarian, you're like, the spawn of Satan. Because that's what they did to the Green Party. Go ahead and vote Libertarian if you want. I don't know what you're thinking, because Trump is much closer to being a libertarian than an establishment Republican. He's actually the one who's like, yeah, we need to open up society. So I don't know, like Joe Jorgensen is at 2.1%. Who are the 2.1% of non-leftists? And then 3.2% undecided. Okay? And then 1.2% other. So hopefully the 3.2% is the Green Party. But, I mean, it is Michigan. What do you expect to gain voting Libertarian after... See, he got 4 million votes last year. In 2016. What's his name? Gary Johnson. Okay, what do you expect to gain? You were voting. Now, I'm not using the, like, there was actually a progressive case for President Trump. The problem is progressives don't care about foreign policy or bringing Americans home from counterinsurgency conflicts. And apparently they don't care about prison reform. And apparently they don't care about President Trump allocating more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, and making the funding permanent, which is fantastic. And absolving $300 million in loans from Katrina, which is fantastic. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can look at President Trump and say, okay, he's battling, he's literally, the left is like, oh, yeah, domestic surveillance. Fine. Who's battling the intelligence agencies? It's Trump. I don't understand why anyone would vote for Joe Jorgensen. But go ahead. It's not going to stop President Trump. What percent did Gary Johnson get? What percentage did Gary Johnson get? 3.2% of the national vote, and President Trump still won. So go ahead, knock yourselves out voting Libertarian. I have do what you. I'm not even going to be like the apoplectic, seething, fuming, angry Democrats who have taken the Green Party, and the Green Party has Hawkins. This year, who does he have? There's the Green Party should actually be the party that Howie Hawkins, Howie Hawkins, and so you should probably vote Green, but that would require you to be called a Russian operative and not be hip and awesome and cool and accepted. So, but definitely the Green Party people have integrity and a spine, and they fight off the maniacal, rabid, frothing at the mouth liberals who view them to be Putin's puppet, Trump's racist Putin puppets. But see, you're getting. I don't understand something. If you don't vote Democrat, if you're a far left person, you're not getting anything from the Democrats. If you're a libertarian, you're getting a limited foreign policy from President Trump. You're getting libertarian. Like Rand Paul and Trump have the same foreign policy, or almost the same foreign policy. Almost. There's some things different here and there. But you're getting you get no interventions, no quagmires, no regime changes. That is like a staple of libertarian foreign policy. I wrote an article about Rand Paul in 2014 saying that I would vote for Rand Paul over Clinton in the Huffington Post. And I did so because of foreign policy, because I thought foreign policy is still, I still do, the most important issue we face as a country, the most important issue that voters should vote on, especially when it comes to the presidency. But see, anyway, I'm getting lost in why anyone would, do what you want, but it's like, I don't get it. Eli Issa, thank you. Clementine Cooper. Keep up the super work, HA. Thanks for all the super summarizing reminders for us to use day to day. Thank you so very, very much. Clementine Cooper. Clementine Cooper, thank you so very much. Clementine Cooper, thank you. Thank you, Clementine, and please be here in November. But Howie Hawkins, Clementine, and Eli, Howie Hawkins is a courageous man because, you had Jill Stein and Ajamu Baraka, and you have Howie Hawkins in 2020. And I have no clue, like, all the Medicare for All pundits on YouTube and the Green New Deal, all these people should vote Green Party. Build up the Green Party. It's so simple. Build up the Green Party and then say, look, we will not vote Democrat unless you do X, Y, and Z, unless you pass a Medicare for All bill. Okay? Instead, I don't even want to get into it. Instead, you have AOC with 1 million people on Twitter and not talking about a Green New Deal, not talking about Medicare for All, or I should say not pushing a bill. Where's the Green New Deal legislation? Oh, that's right. They would lose the Rust Belt. So they're petrified. The Democrats are petrified of a Green New Deal. President Trump is like, hey, we're actually removing soldiers, Americans, from regions of conflict. We're doing this now. President Trump is true to his value system, which is a value system that the left used to share also. Definitely a value system that libertarians share. The Democrats are not true to, they're not going to defund police. They're not going to pack the courts. They're not going to abolish the Electoral College. They're not going to pass a Medicare for All bill. They're not going to pass Green New Deal legislation. So, where are the grifters? The grifters are obviously on the left. Obviously. But you have President Trump, Clementine and Eli, and everybody here. You have President Trump, according to Trafalgar. In Michigan, he's 2.3 points away. No, sorry. In Michigan, he's up by 0.7 points. Okay? In Michigan, he's up by 0.7 points. In Pennsylvania, he's virtually tied. Okay? Virtually tied. About 45 to 47.3. Okay? So it's 44.9% Trump. But Pennsylvania is like a hardcore, Democratic Party. It's voted Democrat since the 80s, since 88. And they have a Democratic governor who is just expecting to find votes at the end of the day. So that's going to be an interesting place. But check it out. Florida, President Trump up 48.7 to 45.6. Okay, then there's Ohio, where he's up. Let's see, Ohio, he's up. I'm trying to find the Trafalgar. So Michigan, he's up by 0.7 points. Wisconsin, President Trump is basically within the margin of error, 45 to 47.7. Ohio, President Trump is up 47.6 to 43.9. So you have Trump up 40. You have Trump up in Ohio, and you have Trump up in Florida, and this is with and the Trafalgar polls pertaining to Florida and Ohio. They don't deviate that much from the polling pertaining to Florida and Ohio. First of all, the whole thing with polls, like, you have Trafalgar at least doesn't give, like, they were talking about it on their on their thread on Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but you can just read it. If you see anybody impersonating me, take screenshots, notify Twitter. They're breaking the law. But their polls don't ask 75 to 120 questions. They know how to find voters who are actually voting for Trump. The Mastodon, hello. Pete Solano! Pete Solano, thank you. As always, Pete, thank you for your support always, Pete. The left scares me because if they win, they will go after Trump. And yeah, I think that they're not going to win, but they would be very frightening. You talk about a danger to democracy. They would be very frightening. But they don't really, thankfully, Pete, they don't have any convictions. So if they say something, they're probably not going to do it. So, and then they see if when Trump leaves the president or in 8 years, but their whole mentality is, oh, you can't go after people who have been president. That's a norm that you just can't touch. So, the notion of indicting or charging, like even Madam Secretary or President Obama, they're like, oh my God, you can't do this. But with Trump, they have no problem saying that. So, but the thing is, Pete, they're probably lying. So they don't have anything on the man. They don't. The only thing they had, Pete and everybody here, is a very corrupt, sloppy intelligence setup that helped foster a Mueller probe. But at the end of the day, it didn't help Democrats get the Senate, which is why we have Amy Coney Barrett now. Pete Solano, thank you. Les Washington. Les, thank you so very much. Les Washington, thank you. Pete Solano, Les Washington. But you have Democrats who have said that stated the following, okay? If you're on the left, what won't? So I believe, Madam Secretary, I think Clinton is still going. My Clinton prediction still stands. Okay, they can't possibly going with Botox B. They can't possibly be going with Botox B, the exhumed body, because he just said the other day. He just stated that he wants to run for Senate again. This is the second time the man thinks he's running for Senate. This is the second time in the past year he stated he wants to run for Senate. Okay? The first time you could say, oh, it was just a slip of the tongue. It's 3 weeks until election. If you're saying you want to run for Senate, that's an issue. Then he can't remember Mitt Romney's name. Everyone on the planet says he's losing his marbles. So it's unbelievable. They don't want Medicare for all. They don't want it. The left keeps saying, that's why I say if you're on the left and you're yelling Medicare for all, and you truly think that people are losing their lives because you don't have single payer Medicare for all, and you vote Democrat, you are a tool of Pelosi and Madam Secretary and Debbie Wasserman and Tom Perez and the DNC. You're just a tool. You vote Democrat, you're not ever going to get Medicare for all with this Democratic Party. Never. You're never, just like Pelosi said, all the progressives in Congress could fit inside a phone booth. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Okay? and they're the loudest, and they get the most coverage, and their voices are amplified beyond belief, but they have zero influence within. They barely got a Green New Deal resolution. We're supposed the planet's supposed to end in about what 2031. The planet is supposed to end. We're not even supposed to really have a planet soon after that. It's it's going to be irreversible. Let's put it this way: irreversible climate change in 11 years. The alarmist, outrageous, rhetoric you never really can get a handle of. You don't really know what they're saying. But in about 11 years, something really bad's going to happen. But you know what? When we're all floating, because there's no more landmass, and all the ice is melted between, from Antarctica, and at least we could say, the AOC had a Green New Deal resolution, non-binding. Nay's Garden. Can you do Nay's Garden? It's a Katharine Hepburn voice. Nay's Garden. Thank you so very much, Nay's Garden. Looking forward to our late November interview. It's going to be fantastic. We don't want a Green New Deal or Medicare for all. Packing the courts? Go pack yourself. Abolishing the Electoral College? Why don't you abolish your memory? Defund police? Defund your mortgage? Abolish ICE, abolish this. Ban fracking. Ban you. They don't want to do any of it. I don't want to talk about Trump. I mean, he's going to self-impeach and self-immolate. Pelosi said many times Trump wants to self-impeach, which is fantastic. Nay's Garden, thank you so very much, sir. Looking forward to the interview late November. Thank you, Nay's Garden, as always. I don't have the Katharine Hepburn down, but it's the Katharine Hepburn voice. And then I love the Trafalgar Group is going at it with like all the usual suspects, all the different polling experts who are dreadfully wrong. Okay, dreadfully wrong. And hopefully, and they have John James. If you're in Michigan, vote for John James. It'd be fantastic if he wins. That's a Republican senator right there. Another Republican senator. So Missouri, they obviously have Trump up. Wisconsin, they have Trump. They had Trump up August 25th. Interesting. They had Trump up August 25th, and then Wisconsin. Now they had Trump down by 2 something. So Arizona, they have Trump up solid. I mean, this is the thing, like, they're like, Arizona's going to flip. It's a swing state. So is North Carolina. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not swing states. They're not swing states. Nevada could be a swing state this year. Democrats, if they lose Nevada and Minnesota, they're done. They're done. If they lose Nevada and Minnesota, check it out. Nay's Garden. Thank you, Pete Solano. Pete Solano, I tell you, Pete, I think climate change is an important issue. I think it's an important issue. But I don't buy the rhetoric. They're always so alarmist. And then when they get in office, they're like, oh, well, we're the number one producer of fossil fuels in the world. That's my doing, people. That's my doing. We became the number one producer of oil and gas in the world, or at least a number one oil producer in the world under President Obama. It was the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production. And if you look at our carbon emissions by year, 2019 was the lowest point in at any point. It was lower in 2019 than at any point during President Obama's administration. So if you just, this is interesting. I would love to win in this way. This is how I'd love to win. Honestly, I want to win this way. Please. Hopefully we can go back and Nay's Garden. Hopefully we can talk about this. This is how I want to win. Go ahead, take Wisconsin Democrats. Take Michigan Democrats. Take Pennsylvania Democrats. Take it. It's yours. Take it. You better vote if you're in those states early. But take it. What I would love is if Trump won Nevada and Minnesota. He'd be up 276, 262. Yeah. They weren't ready in Nevada and Minnesota to print out mail-in ballots last second. Like, oh no, we put all the copy machines in Wisconsin and Minnesota and Michigan and Pennsylvania. No. They're like trying to drive a bunch of copy machines. And copy machines have been mobile printing facilities have been found in Minnesota and Nevada. Abandoned printing facilities have been found in Pennsylvania and Michigan. These bizarre mobile printing facilities and old copiers have been found in Minnesota and Nevada. In the late evening, they're like, no, we didn't plan for this. No. If they look, Trump wins Ohio and Florida. He doesn't need, if he just gets, check it out. If he just gets Minnesota, he doesn't even need Nevada. If he gets some votes in Maine. If he gets some votes in Maine, he doesn't even need Nevada. If it's the same thing, it'll be 270, 268. Okay, but I think Nevada is in play. I really do. It's the Electoral College. These people are like the biggest imbeciles on the planet. I don't know what's wrong with them. They're the biggest imbeciles on the planet. I don't get it. I don't understand. They're like, nationally, Biden's up by 70,000 points. It's about Michigan. It's about Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. They have to, because Ohio and Florida, this is why they're in such bad shape, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they're in such bad shape. Nay's Garden, no. No, Georgia is red. Georgia's going to be red. Georgia is a state in between Alabama and South Carolina is not going blue for a long time, even if you do have Atlanta, but every other part of Georgia is very, very, very red. And President Trump is going to have a lot more support among Hispanic and Latino voters and Black and African American voters. Democrats are pretty close to being an irrelevant political party. Their only hope is Latino and Hispanic and Black and African American voters, and many are moving to President Trump. So this election is going to see a lot of lifelong Democrats, myself included, voting for Trump. But if you have Ohio and Florida, you better win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, and Minnesota, and Nevada. Because if you don't win, if you don't win Minnesota and Nevada, you lose. If you win Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and you lose Minnesota, you've lost the election still. You've lost the election. If you get some votes in Maine. But, I mean, I think he's going to get one of those states. I think he's going to get either Wisconsin or Michigan or Pennsylvania. He'll get one of those states. He'll be close in all of those states. See, the thing is, Democrats can't allow it to be close because I'm telling you, Madam Secretary can actually make it closer. I'm telling you, I'm going to be a little bit worried when Clinton overtakes Biden because no one. When Caligula and Nero write a Medium article, when Caligula and Nero and Genghis Khan invite you for a banquet in your honor, you're what's for dinner. Don't go. If you get an invitation in the mail from Caligula saying, "Please join us for a dinner in your honor," don't bring your significant other, that's for sure, and don't attend. And that same goes for when Madam Secretary writes a Medium article in your honor. What are the chances that Clinton is truthful in her Medium article? Gee, I don't know. Probably less than 0.3%. But, PH Authority! PH Authority, thank you. PH Authority, thank you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, be here right after this live stream because I will have an upload on this channel. So be here right after this live stream. Let's see. I want to. Can Trump win? So he got one electoral vote in Maine. So even checking out. See, this doesn't make any sense here. The 270 to win chart doesn't make any sense. PH Authority, thank you. But it says here that President Trump got one electoral vote in Maine. If he gets one electoral college vote in Maine and it goes to, he would still win 270 to 268. No, sorry, what am I saying? He would win. Hold on. Let's see here. If you go to 270 to win, and you go to 2016 actual, it says that Maine is split. Okay, now, if they get Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and Trump gets Minnesota, if he just gets two electoral college votes, it's 270 to 268. Okay? 270 to 268. Now, if President Trump so they split it. They were saying this. So that's the thing. Apparently, if I go to Wikipedia, so it's basically he would still get 270 if you go by Wikipedia, because Wikipedia says that he only got one electoral college vote. So, okay, let's find out. I'm talking about if. Okay, so Trump and Biden wage a battle over one electoral vote in rural Maine. Anything rural is voting for President Trump. So you're going to get, PH Authority, you're going to get one, if he gets just one electoral college vote, then he's up 270 to 268. Okay. So they can win Maine They can win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin as long as he wins Ohio and Florida and he gets Minnesota, he's up by 1. Okay? I don't know why it says that they split the vote two votes for Trump, because it was only 1 vote that he won. So I don't know why they did it like this. Maybe one of the electors. I don't think one of the electors switched. I don't know. But it's about the Electoral College. It's not about national polls. Why is it so difficult for these really smart, intelligent people who are really imbeciles to understand? It doesn't matter if... Okay, Clinton went into Election Day with a 17-point lead. I don't understand why they don't ever realize their mistakes. It's the same thing. Here, Clinton carries 17-point lead over Trump into final days. Siena College, November 6th, 2016. Siena College Research Institute, 17-point lead. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, it's impossible. Like, you can't reason. You can't reason with these people. It's impossible. You keep telling them the same thing over again. The polls are off. The polls are not, they do not reflect even the popular vote. They're like, well, it was pretty accurate. Yeah. The popular vote did not, when they were saying that Trump was up 3 points, Clinton was up 3 points nationally, they were not counting on California to trickle in at the end of the game when the time ran out, 3 million votes to give her the victory. The popular, because President Trump had the popular vote for a moment, for like a couple hours on election night. They don't get this. PH Authority, thank you. It's so difficult for them to understand basic logic. And it's impossible. Like, all of their every single one of the arguments Democrats make are based on appeals to authority. There are all different types of arguments you can make, and with Democrats, they're always like, well, the intelligence community says, well, the polls say, well, sources close to the matter say, sources on condition of anonymity say, sources close to the president say. It's never, I'm voting for Biden because he's done so many good things. Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard, I'm voting for Biden because of something he did? You've never heard this, have you? You've never heard, I'm voting for Biden because of his record on, and then pick an issue. Nobody has ever stated, I am voting. So it's going to be Madam Secretary anyway, but we'll just roll with Biden for conversation. Does anyone ever told you, I am voting for Biden because he is so sharp and witty? Because he has so much charisma and energy? Because he gives me confidence? Because of his stellar foreign policy record? Because of his achievements in foreign policy? No. Because of the crime bill? Because of the 100-to-1 sentencing disparities that he helped create? You don't get that. You get like, President Trump worked with Russia because there's a check he wrote, because there was money funneling into his campaign from Uranium One. No. Because we saw emails that show that he's working with Russia, because we can actually prove he worked with Russia. No. It's, well, James Clapper said so, and Jonathan said so. And then, coincidentally, they're all on MSNBC and CNN saying the same things after the election. Have you ever heard, I'm voting, and then it's always like, well, I'm voting for Biden because Trump said both sides. No, he didn't. He never said that. In fact, he condemned the horrible racists within that actual quote. It is the Electoral College. You haven't abolished it. Just go abolish it. Go try to abolish it. Do it. What are you waiting for? Maybe you're completely inept, and you can't even pass a Medicare for all bill. Just go ahead and abolish the Electoral College. Do it. Where's AOC talking about? You're like, well, so then you have all these, the imbeciles teaching history. The Electoral College, it's a remnant of everything horrible. Well, then abolish it. What's the problem? Go ahead and do it. What are you waiting for? Packing the courts. We're going to pack the courts. Then do that too. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Medicare for all, the Messiah? What are you waiting for? Green New Deal. This planet is going to end. Then what are you waiting for? Pass the legislation. Go ahead. And then say the Senate prevented it from saving the planet. You won't do that. That's right. That's right, because you're a bunch of grifters. The biggest grifters of all time. Yes. They never actually abide by their apoplectic and seething and fuming and hysterical ranting. They just yap, and then they don't know how to actually fight. They're like, look at what we're doing to the streets and to businesses. Like, that's not helping you. That's very bad. You're not even winning any votes that way. Well, we're teaching everyone a lesson. And you old couple, eating food, we'll show you. It's like, they're just going to leave. And they're going to another restaurant. They'll never forget that interaction. And anything you stand for, you're not helping any cause. The only way to actually fight on the left, and I was trying to tell people this, but they cared more about being cool and hip and accepted, is to actually join the Green Party or create your own political party. And then get a whole lot of people to the worst thing that... Okay, Bernie Sanders, thank God he didn't, because I would have gone with him to the Green Party. I would have gone with him to the Green Party. The only way to MR Chew. What do you think of Nancy's meltdown with Wolf? I think that even on CNN, MR Chew, thank you. Mr. Chew, thank you. I think that even on CNN, when you have pretty much the extension of the Democratic Party, they can't actually answer questions. So I forgot exactly what it was about. Let's find out exactly what was it about. So So here, Blitzer presses Pelosi on why she hasn't taken Trump's stimulus. Well, because she doesn't want him to benefit. That's why. Because it's 100% political. And she calls, look, they're in such bad shape. If they're up 17 with a Botox Biden, the exhumed body, the Botox cadaver, okay, nationally, you would think that she would actually be okay on CNN. There is zero support. If you didn't have media as an extension of the Democratic Party pumping lies, there are about 5 or 6 things that he never said, Trump. Never even, and there was no subtext, and people were like, he knew what he was saying. Like, who are these people that you think, they're like Democrats, like, he knows what he was doing. It's like, what was he doing? Who was he speaking to? because Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin voted Democrat since the 80s. That means Bill Clinton. That means Kerry. That means Clint. That was Clinton, Kerry, and President Obama. So we're going to look back at this time and we're going to say, okay, see, Mr. Chu, the meltdown is because Democrats they don't stand for anything. Their arguments are appeals to authority. The intelligence community says, the polls say, it's never Trump worked with Russia because he did this. They can't point to anything he did. They can just point to intelligence reports you have to trust, even though they are the Steele dossier that was purchased by Clinton, his direct political rival. They'll never say Biden is up because of his charisma, because of his track record. They never say that. And they never point to actually something they're going to do. It's always like, if they talk about liberal or democratic policies, it's boring, and the far left doesn't care. Even the far left doesn't care about these policies. Notice how, like, the left doesn't even care about the ACA. And then, if they talk about, they're like, these are real-world consequences. They always have these lame euphemisms. What were they saying to real-world impact? Macy Hirona was like, are you going to consider the real-world impact of the ACA? And it's like, there's real-world impact to everything. The Republicans or conservatives on the court obviously view the real-world impact of protecting the Second Amendment, for example. Then they go to the same absurd, oh, well, when it was written, we never, they never had assault, and then it's like, well, you could do the same thing with the First Amendment in video games, the First Amendment in movies. Thomas Jefferson never had a DVD player. Genius. So you could do the same thing. And they don't realize, like, a revolver is just as dangerous. They don't get this because they know nothing about firearms, and they don't. In some cases, even more. I'm not even going to get into it, depending on the caliber. I'm not even going to get into it. But it's like, I am referring to Trafalgar. The polls in general are going to be wrong, off like they were. He was down, ladies and gentlemen, by 5 to 6 points in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin going into the election. So if you look at the swing state polls, if you look at the final 15 here's ABC News. They had toss-ups. Okay, Florida was a toss-up. He won pretty decisively in Florida, like well over 120, 130,000 votes. 112,000, something like that. Wisconsin, he was down an average of 6 to 8 points in Wisconsin right before. This is November 7th, and he won Wisconsin. So the swing state polls were horrendous. He was down 4 to 6 points in Pennsylvania. He won Pennsylvania. And these are according to all the polls, the latest polls coming out right before the election. So, The polls were always skewed towards them. Look, you're talking about these are not scientific. These are not scientific endeavors. These are public relations stunts. The fact the Trafalgar Group is accurate because Trump is going to win. The reality is that there's more support for President Trump than people think, a lot more. Trafalgar is the only polling company that is actually reflecting what exists today and what existed in 2016. I think they were also right in 2016 as well. But the media, people don't understand. If you ask a whole bunch of people what they think of Trump, you have to also ask those people, well, do they what do they watch? Spectrum Wits, Mr. True, thank you. Why wasn't Tulsi there? Tucker Carlson said something interesting. Sarah, thank you so very much, Sarah. Thank you. Sarah Pena, thank you. Tulsi Gabbard is fantastic. I would vote for her in a heartbeat over Paul Ryan, over an establishment Republican. If it was like somebody like President Trump, I would vote for Trump just because I don't want the Second Amendment to be curtailed or erased. Not saying that she would erase the Second Amendment, but I'm saying that she would perhaps be influenced by Democrats. The Democratic Party is a very, judging by what they've done the past 4 years, very vile, nefarious, duplicitous, disingenuous, insidious, opportunistic political party that can't seem to really win. They got the House, big deal. What signature piece of legislation can you say that AOC and Pelosi and all of them passed through the House? They have nothing. President Trump, First Step Act, he signed the First Step Act. I guess you could say they passed the First Step Act, but you can't give them. You have to give President Trump credit also for signing it. See, that's the problem. That's why Pelosi doesn't want to pass another stimulus right before the election. But President Trump has allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities and made that funding permanent. And his administration has absolved $300 million in loans from Katrina. President Trump is the first president to step foot in North Korea. President Trump's economy reached record lows in unemployment, record lows in black and Latino unemployment. And you had people like Bill Maher and others saying, oh, well, you know what, we need a recession. Well, you got the recession, or close to one, and you're still going to lose. President Trump has a record. You can list things, tremendous diplomatic achievements between Israel and the UAE and Bahrain and Serbia and Kosovo. You could say he's ended the war in Afghanistan. He's removed Americans from regions of conflict. This is something that I want. There are people on the left who are like, well, climate change is more important because it affects the whole planet. It's like, well, yeah, but that's an interesting way of looking at things. It affects the whole planet, fine, but you would need the whole planet to be on the same page as well. Otherwise, not much is going to be done to save the planet. So climate change is very important, but if you don't have other countries, like China, like India, we're going to be third economically in the world. We'll have the third-ranked economy in the world in about 20 to 30 years. It'll be China and then India. Mad Cow Mark, good day from Lockdown City, Melbourne, Australia. I know the feeling, Mad Cow Mark. I know the feeling. Just getting a haircut the other day was like exhilarating. I felt amazing. Mad Cow Mark, thank you as always for your support. To my Australian viewers, thank you so very, very much. Mad Cow Mark, thank you so much as always. Thank you for your support, Mad Cow Mark. Simon Hathaway Spurlock. ACB is looking best. Yep. Because have no shame in their game. No shame in their game. Thank you for another great live stream as always. They have no shame in their game. They have no shame. And they keep on trying to, like, they keep on trying to get her. Like, who is it? It was like, just wondering, what are you looking at? What are your notes? Okay, I'll tell you. Who was it? Who was it that asked for her notes? This is so hilarious. This is so hilarious. Okay, of course. And then CNN flips it. No notes. CNN weighs in on a moment that drew laughter. It was more like a moment that made made Democrats look like who they really are. A bunch of imbeciles. Oh, here, right now. People are afraid right now. Yeah, people are also afraid of Democrats. What's the problem? Hold on. Why is it so difficult? Again, they're not going to... First of all, President Trump has stated a million times he's not going to take the pre-existing condition clause out of any replacement. Another deceitful lie that they tell is like, well, if people don't have the ACA, they won't have health care. It's like, no, they will. It will be replaced with a plan that actually has also... with a plan that has the pre-existing condition clause, and they run the House anyway, so it wouldn't even pass the House. So what are they worried about? That's the only thing they have. And the left doesn't even want it. They want Medicare for all. And the left is saying people are losing their lives every day because of no Medicare for all. Well, there you go. Guess who's complicit in ending people's lives? AOC and the left and Democrats in Congress. Why? Because they're not passing a Medicare for all bill. How hard is it to pass a Medicare for all bill? You won the House by lying to people saying that you would pass one. And don't say, well, I've heard the lamest excuse. Well, the Senate is controlled by Republicans. Oh. So what, genius? So what? Senate's controlled by Republicans. You still impeach Trump. So you do what you really care about when it suits you. Typical Democrats. Typical disingenuous Democrats. But the left is like, oh, can you cheat us more? Sure, no problem. Why is it so difficult to find out? Hold on, I'll find. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway. So they've been trying to they have those real world consequences, you know. The Golden Moo Madam Secretary's in the house. Hello, Golden Moo. Hello, Golden Moo. See you very soon. The Golden Moo. The Golden Moo. Thank you so very, very, very much. The Golden Moo. Thank you for your support. And it was Patrick Leahy also. That was a good one. Patrick Leahy was... Patrick Leahy, what did he say today? Oh, he wanted to recuse Spectrum Wits. I'm in need of a... Spectrum Wits, thank you. Thank you. The Golden Moo Spectrum, thank you so very much. Simon, thank you so very much. Mad Cow Mark, as always, sir, thank you. Thank you. But there was Patrick Leahy, and he tried to get Amy Coney Barrett to Mad Cow Mark. He tried to get Amy Coney Barrett and everybody here to recuse herself. So this is hilarious. I just want to let you know that, it seems that President Trump wants his hand-picked justice. And, as you know, we're planning on cheating last second to get mail-in ballots to win swing states. Because we know that Democrats have zero enthusiasm. So, will you recuse yourself? Will you swear an oath of allegiance in blood? To recuse yourself from anything to do that might hurt us politically ever, especially in the election. I mean, you would be a Supreme Court justice, but you wouldn't be weighing in on the most consequential case, probably of all time. I know you won't mind, will you? I mean, you do have some decency in you, don't you? Or is everything we've heard about you true? It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. Scott Sachs, hello. Keep up the great work. The Democrats, Republicans are all one inside D.C. It's now about Trump versus... I agree with you. Scotty Sachs, thank you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Scotty, I agree with you. It's, I mean, without Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, you don't have, without Jeff Sessions, you don't have the Mueller probe. This is hilarious. Leahy tells Barrett he's worried her confirmation will be harmful for women. Only Democrats could get away with this. If a Republican, oh my God. Could you imagine? Scotty, thank you. Scotty, thank you so very much. Simon, we need another Trump-Clinton debate, the rematch. I think it's... If it doesn't happen, it should. I definitely think, though, at the end of the day, Clinton is still going to replace Biden. I cannot. Do you understand? It is impossible, ladies and gentlemen, for Clinton to have written a Medium article in praise of Biden, for him to be commander-in-chief. It makes no sense at all. It's impossible. And it's interesting, too, why would Clinton write a Medium article? She could get published in the New York Times tomorrow. The switcheroony is going to happen. In this Medium article, she's saying, I hope you'll read my pieces in Foreign Affairs and Democracy Journal. And then she had a piece in The Atlantic about a month ago, right before the article that said that Trump said bad things about fallen Americans, which he never did. This is hilarious. And then they keep on saying these things about the bounties. Yeah, and our involvement, you buffoons. Like, well, Putin has these bounties against our Americans. Bring them home. What? Then you won't have to worry about the bounties. Bring them. Well, we can't do that. We have to keep them in harm's way forever. We have to be in the quagmire till the Messiah comes. But the bounties. Well, yeah, he's ended the war. He's bringing them home from Afghanistan. He's ended it. Look it up. It's in the BBC, Guardian, Washington Post. It's just like anything good he does, it's like one article. That's it. One. You mean to tell me that Clinton couldn't have gotten published in the Atlantic? JUB 8891. IHA. How would MSM handle the leaks relating to? You see, this is the thing. I can't. JUB 8891. I can't discuss it because I don't have. Sources that. Unfortunately, you have to have these. You have to have sources that Democrats find appropriate to really get in depth, or at least for me to really get in depth about issues. My channel is relatively small, only 150,000 subs, so I can't get into it because I know it's in some sources, but I'm waiting for it to hit the mainstream so I could weigh in on it. So I don't really know much about the story, to tell you the truth. I know that Black Conservative Patriot did a fantastic video that I have to watch on it. But I wish I could tell you more. That's just the honest truth. I don't know much about it. But why isn't I don't get why Hillary Clinton is writing a Medium article on why Joe Biden should be the next commander in chief. I'm telling you, there's something going on. I'm telling you that. So JUB 8891, I appreciate your support. Thank you. Loud Citizen. Biden doesn't say 19. Okay, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. It's so many. There's so many Biden comments. Loud Citizen. I hope all is well. Congrats, Loud Citizen, on everything. It never gets picked up. Oh yeah, that's right here. This man, it's pretty unbelievable. I can't find the actual quote, but anything he says, Loud Citizen, is anything he says, it's just a recipe for disaster for Democrats. I mean, it's the media does not cover. They obsessed over Trump drinking water. This man says he's running for Senate 3 weeks before the election. And media is not only complicit, they're almost literally an extension of the Democratic Party. Every single journalist wants to be accepted by Hollywood, by the left. And anyone who deviates is a GOP apologist. Could you imagine if McCarthy in the House or McConnell, Wolf Blitzer, why are you being a DNC apologist? Could you imagine that would be laughed at? I just want to tell you, Wolf, I'm incredibly disappointed in you. You're being an apologist for the Pelosi's of the world. I'm very, very upset. You're being a DNC apologist. That would never make any. Wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. I know. I understand. Nobody can see it happening, but I don't see. They'll accept anything. I understand it. It seems like there's zero chance, but also, Democrats would accept anything, and the media would cover up anything. They already have. So I'm just going to continue with the prediction until Election Day, because I just can't believe they're going to go with a man who would... Clinton is an infinitely better candidate, and I would actually worry a little bit. Southern Miss! When the Amish... It's... Wow, that's true. I didn't know this, but that's true. Southern Miss. Yes. Yes. That's true. People aren't afraid of Trump. They don't like him. And then because they don't like him, they say absurd, nonsensical, irrational, lame things like he's a threat to our democracy. Southern Miss, thank you. Southern Miss, thank you so very much. But people are afraid of Democrats. There's a difference. I'm not afraid of Democrats, but I know what they're capable of. So I'm like, I know what they're capable of, and I understand that people are very afraid. There's a reason to be very afraid of Democrats, especially if you're on the left. Maybe it's like, I know what they're going to do. I know exactly what they're going to do. First, they're going to go after the Green Party. The Green Party is not going to have any, the poor Green Party is not going to have any impact on the election. They'll be like, Green Party! And then they'll be like, Bernie! Support us, Bernie! And then, I mean, at that point, it's like, well, what do you want these people to do? You haven't given them anything that they really want. They would be, what they should actually do, I'm not going to tell them, they should have actually passed the Medicare for All bill, knowing, like, even if they didn't want to, they should have passed, but see, that's the thing, they're worried about the taxes going up. Any Medicare for All bill, the Mercatus study talked about they'd have to double or triple tax collection. So the Democrats are like, no, we can't go with this because it's just not feasible. And the taxes would, and then you get the like ridiculous response, well, you won't have to pay premiums. Like, well, everyone has a different monthly premium. So if you're a 20-year-old healthy adult, you're going to have a different premium than if you are a 50-year-old with 5 kids. See how it works? A little bit different. Little tiny little fact that you don't get. And then you have like, what percentage of Americans don't pay income tax? So 46% don't pay income tax. 46% of Americans. So if you're yelling about Medicare for all, you're like, so what? Who cares about taxes? Like, well, if you're not paying income tax, then, there's a difference. If you pay income tax, you don't want your taxes going up. Simon Hathaway's, can I get a turtle talking to Nancy about Wolf?
Oh, Nancy. What's the matter, Nancy? They're turning on you, aren't they? Now you know how it feels. And now you know how it feels, Nancy.
Madam Secretary's coming. Madam Secretary's coming. You wait. It ain't over till the moo-moo. Till Madam Secretary comes flying down on the jetpack. That dorsal fin ain't flipper. And believe me, if you've heard it for months, I'm going to continue to say it. They can't be going with Biden. And when Caligula writes a Medium article in your honor, there's a problem. When Nero and Caligula invite you for a banquet in your honor, don't show up. Because you're what's for dinner. Don't do it. Okay? If I've known anything about the Democratic Party, they always have something up their sleeve. So they can't be serious with Biden. And now we're finding out Biden, so many, there's things going on. They're like, did you hear about Biden? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about Biden? It's like, I'm not even covering half the stuff I've heard about Biden. At the end of the day, he just said, look, he said he's running for Senate yesterday. So, like, the media can only cover it up for so long. And I think that Clinton, I expected her to be here at this point. I can't believe that she would just allow Kamala Harris to be president when she was only 70,000 votes away from being president. And, of course, Russia stole it from her. The whole 4 years was basically she purchased with a Steele dossier and DNC outsourced CrowdStrike. So I just, I'm telling you, Belinda 007, thank you. Thank you, Belinda 007. Yeah, I just don't see. And then you have Amy Coney Barrett that's going to be a huge Biden's running for Senate again, I know. It's Amy Coney Barrett's going to be a Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, and Thanksgiving present. Oh, could you imagine? This Thanksgiving is going to be so good. Oh my God, it's going to be. Do you understand? November 26th. It's going to be 23 days after November 3rd, the worst day in the lives of Democrats everywhere, politically. God forbid it's like, worst day. I mean, no, I'm talking about just, fun and games, like a sports team thing, politically. Can you imagine if you have to eat Thanksgiving after you've won? Do you understand? Oh, thank God I don't have to be with any deranged liberals. Oh my, can you imagine if oh, hi Bob, hi Jane, how's it going? Fine. Why did we come here? She's fine. Oh, forget. Yeah, Trump's really, I can't believe he won. Yeah, we could, that was bad. Take a seat, yeah. Can you imagine dinner? Can you imagine dinner with your deranged liberal family or friends after Trump won for Thanksgiving? You'd be like, oh gosh, these sweet potatoes have a nice orange color. Get it? Orange? Like the president for 8 years. What's up? Honey, did you get that pumpkin pie? Just, Bob and Jane, what color is pumpkin? Oh, that's right. It's orange. Like the president for 8 years. Oh my God. It would be so amazing. Could you imagine? Oh. Definitely don't do it. Just actually don't even talk politics. Don't rub it in. I'm telling you right now, don't rub it in, because they're liable to throw the entire Thanksgiving dinner right on the floor. They're like completely different. You understand? And they're liable to, I'm telling you, don't exactly, Brad's Adams, exactly, Jake. I mean, could you, orange yellow exactly, Sam. But could you imagine Thanksgiving dinner after Thanksgiving function after President Trump wins, or New Year's? Hey, haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah. Going into a new year. Yeah. It's thankfully we'll have a better economy. Why do you say that? Well, because Trump's been reelected. Don't engage. They're liable at dinner. They're liable to literally pick up the table, and all your hard work. I mean, they're if you do that, if you joke around and say pumpkin, orange, they'll literally take the turkey and throw it out the window. They will take your turkey. Bob and Jane, and the liberals it doesn't matter, family, friends, it doesn't matter. They will take the turkey. You see this? You take it. You see this? You see this? Out the window. I'm out. We're leaving. But even don't do it but there would be satisfaction. It's like, I'm not eating the turkey, but that was fantastic. Look what they did. They threw the turkey out the window. Yes. But don't do it. There's no reason for there's no reason to do that. It's Thanksgiving. There's no reason to do this. Oh my God. The holiday season's coming up. The holiday season's coming up. Wow. I forgot all about that. Isn't that interesting? The holiday season's coming up. Right after President Trump goes 8 years, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God. Seeing the meltdown is going to be amazing. From Hollywood. Seeing the meltdown from Hollywood, these like millionaires who don't care if Americans are stuck in quagmires forever, don't care about a good economy because they make money anyway. Also, I don't understand, in Hollywood you have 80s and 90s celebrities who have made a name for themselves only because of contempt for Trump. It's like you have producers who've made a name for themselves only because of contempt for Trump. And it's like, well, you were famous once, and now you're famous on Twitter again, and then the meltdown on November 3rd ain't gonna be fun. So, Thanksgiving Zoom. That's right, JSpot51. Thanksgiving Zoom. You'd play clips of President Trump's re-election night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. Sid for Brains, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin. People, be here in about 10 minutes. I will have an upload in about 10 to 15 minutes on this channel. So be here for the upload, ladies and gentlemen. It's been absolutely fantastic. Be here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. We have a fantastic live stream tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, everyone. Be here tomorrow. 1 p.m. Fantamos, Fanto! The turkey only costs... This turkey only... Fantamos, Fanto. Pumpkin Man Good, Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, Dizzy, thank you. Daisy, thank you. Simon Hathaway, Spurlock, Pumpkin Man Good, Fantamos, Fanto, the turkey. That's when you know the turkey's good. Mad Cow Mark, the golden moon has to run, or my theory was wrong. No, don't worry, it's happening. Mad Cow Mark, I used to do a good George Herbert Walker. Stay the course. Stay the course. I can't do it anymore. Mad Cow Mark, don't worry. Just remember, Mad Cow Mark, that dorsal fin ain't flipper. And when Caligula and Nero write a Medium article or invite you to a banquet in your honor. It's not what it seems. Mad Cow Mark, thank you so very much. Everyone here, thank you. I will see you all tomorrow. Be here at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and just in a couple of minutes, please be back on this channel. I have an upload. Thank you so very, very much. Watch the upload in a couple of minutes, everyone. And subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel, but watch the upload in a couple minutes on this channel. Thank you. Thank you so much.